Sir, thanks for joining us today on Leadership Log, which is a podcast on topics of interest for the Air Force Lifecycle Management Center community. And today's topic of interest is learning about the Global Facilities Support Division within AFSAC. So again, we're talking about our foreign military sales portfolio, AFSAC being the organization that manages that for AFLCMC. And we're speaking with Jeffrey Todd. Sir, if you could introduce yourself to the audience and give us a little background on your career.
All right. Well, thank you for doing this. My name is Jeff Todd. I'm a career Air Force civil engineer, was on active duty for a little over 26 years, and now I've been a civil servant here at Wright-Patterson for a little more than 6 years. But all my career has been civil engineering, supporting facilities from the requirements, design to, for the most part, for the maintenance and sustainment of those facilities. My Air Force career has taken me all over the world, so I've been several assignments overseas, several stateside, but here at Wright-Pat, I was able to join AFSAC originally just to work a bed down in Iraq, F-16 program. Mm-hmm. Since then, I've moved out to other programs.
Okay. So you got an expertise in doing air-based facilities, 26 years worth anyway. And so now you're applying that expertise for our foreign military partners internationally through AFSAC. So yeah. If you could, so we know that AFSAC, the Global Facility Support Division, used to be called something else. The name had just recently changed. Could you talk to us a little bit about kind of the genesis of that and what prompted it?
So as mentioned, we want to be the expert or the go-to office for any facility requirement that supports foreign military sales programs. Our earlier title was just the construction division, and I think that was it was too limited, too distinct. And so we would approach program offices here at Wright-Pat or partner nations when they were starting to look at a certain program, and they didn't think they needed construction. I think they felt like they could do it themselves, or that construction was just too much for them to put their arms around at first. So I think changing the name to Global Facilities Support allows us to get in and just talk about the general requirement and make sure that the partner nation customer understands when they buy a weapon system, especially aircraft, it comes with facility requirements from whether you're talking about shelters or maintenance shops, planning shops, everything that might have to do with that.
Mm-hmm. Because it goes beyond just building a building per se. I mean, you've got to have all the infrastructure and water supplies and electrical supplies and heating and cooling and things, all of that nature. And you guys assist with all of those functions as well, correct?
The Global Facility Support Division, we can support partners with runways, taxiways, but I think for the most part, we'll assume that they already have those in place. What I think our role in that is maybe doing early site visits, site surveys, looking at it, making sure that the runways they have are suitable for the weapon system they're buying, kind of assess the condition of it, make sure they're doing preventive maintenance, working on those runways. And if not, we can offer some recommendations. But there have been situations where we've done major runway pavement repairs, as well as taxiways. We have never done a completely new runway, but we're going to expect they already have those facilities, that infrastructure on the base. I think we're going to focus more on the specific facilities for that weapon system, whether it be a hangar, maintenance back shops, simulator facilities, squadron operations facilities, those type of requirements.
Yeah. And in some instances, they may have existing hangars that are large enough to accommodate the new aircraft, but they may require other kind of structural improvements or maybe fire suppression systems or things like that that might be unique to the new system that we're supplying them with. And And there again would be another instance where it's not necessarily construction, but in keeping with your new name, Global Facility Support, it kind of follows along to that level of support that you guys offer.
Exactly. I think a lot of bases may already have aircraft shelters. So I think our job kind of making sure that the doors are wide enough for this new weapon system. Maybe there needs to be some modifications that way. The biggest one I've seen is power requirements. A lot of the support equipment that goes along with the maintenance of the aircraft requires some unique power hookups and requirements. And so we can make sure that the partner understands that. And if they ask us to, we can hire a contractor to do that for them.
Yep.
There have been,
Yep.
some maintenance requirements require climate control, such as temperature or humidity control. So
Yep.
large HVAC systems that can support those type of requirements.
Yeah, I can imagine, especially you mentioned simulator systems. Sometimes those have really unique requirements in terms of power and cooling and things. Have you, give us a couple of examples of some things that you've done recently that maybe some unique kind of requirements that you've went in and helped in install in facilities.
Like I said, when I first came to AFSAC, working primarily the Iraqi F-16 bed down, those facilities have been completed for about 3 years now, but it was we did a full F-16 complex. So we did the brand new hangar, brand new squadron operations facility. And that was done in still a somewhat hostile environment. It's not a safe environment to be in. So we had to bring all our contractors in, house them on the base, provide the life support, security, and everything there. So that was a unique situation where we were building facilities, but like I said, under a hostile environment. So all the materials, everything had to be delivered from Turkey and other locations in the area.
Mm-hmm.
I've also was personally involved in a construction program in India, so that was another is a very unique facility. That the 2-bay hangar, one side was a paint booth in itself, and so there's a lot of unique requirements in there, a lot of specialized design, specialized equipment, but rather large facility also.
Yeah.
But with COVID, we've been kind of slow, but starting to talk to some of the potential customers, partners around the world, and trying to get them to understand what we can bring to the table. And so every customer, every location is different. We can't just pull designs off a shelf. A lot of times we have to actually know where we're going to put it, what's already there, and a lot of times we start digging into the ground, you find things that are buried, or old utility lines, different things that cause us to have to step back and replan how we're going to do it. Maybe have to design around it, or do a little demolition before we can continue. But I said every location, every job has been different.
And so I could see, I mean, the advantage that you guys offer is that you've done this time and time again, both for the Air Force, but also now for other international partners. And there's always these unforeseen kind of things that you run across when you're standing up a new capability like that. That it's good to have that experience to draw upon to save learning lessons the hard way.
Exactly. And we're able to tap into some contractors out there that have good experience with U.S. Air Force design and construction. And so understand what the requirement is for the unique to the weapon system, understand what we're trying to do. They also understand the time requirement to get things done before those aircraft are delivered. And so something I want to point out to a lot of people is that, you know, design, I think, is very important. I mean, that's the roadmap for the construction. So you want to get that right. You want to get all the requirements built into it, whether it's vendor requirements, security requirements, making sure that facility is secure and that, you know, not everybody can get access that shouldn't have it. But a lot of times also identifying or including the customer's requirements. You know, they may want something unique based on the way they do things or their culture or whatever. So we try to include all those together. Construction, while we like to bring in a prime who understands how it all works together, as much as possible, they're going to hire local construction contractors and labor to actually do the work. So we've had some customers think that we were going to bring in the entire construction workforce, and we've had explained to them that no, we're going to use local companies, local labor, and a lot of times local material suppliers, so that a lot of that cost of that construction is going back into their economy.
Yeah.
So I think that's something that it may not be, they may not understand that up front, but we're trying to make sure that somewhere in the discussions, we ensure they understand that.
Mhm. So looking ahead, what trends do you see kind of coming along the line in terms of global facility support for FMS partners?
Yeah, we're hoping that it's COVID restrictions start to decrease, but you know, that's to be seen. It seems like things are
That's right.
maybe inching back up right now, but at some point where those restrictions come down and we can do more travel and customers and partners are allowing more visitors, I see the whole FMS enterprise, you know, start to get busier, picking up more potential customers. And I think our job is just to, again, communicate, make sure they understand what we're bringing to it, making sure that whatever we do bring to it is value added.
Mm-hmm.
And I think success is going to generate more work. So I think we've got to get back out there, start working with our potential customers and make sure they understand what we can bring to the program.
Yeah. So, sir, that just about brings us to the end of our time. But before we close, I just wanted to see, is there anything you want to reiterate or anything that I forgot to ask about? Or
so, yeah, I think just want to, if I didn't say it before, just kind of say, again, it's not just construction. We're looking at all facility support from, just identifying the requirements as early in the stage so that either the customer can do it or that we can help them provide those facilities that meet the, like I said, the power requirements, the size requirements, everything in there. We can do the design or manage that design, or we can do it all. We can do it all from requirements of construction. And then we're also talking with some customers about once that facility is done, maybe doing a 1 or 2 year sustainment contract, or we have a contractor take care of the facility. At the same time, they're kind of training their personnel on how to operate it, how to do that. So we kind of want to do cradle to grave facility management and supporting our customers, because the whole focus should be on that weapon system. Facilities should just be there to support it. And the better the facilities are, the better they're operated. It's almost transparent. It's just focus on the weapon system. So,
all right.
So I think if anybody has any questions for us, we'd be glad to discuss it with them.
So, sir, thanks very much for joining us today on Leadership Log. We really appreciate your time.
All right. Thank you very much.